Make sure I get my camera. There we go. Make sure everything's off over here. Make sure I get my camera. That's not it. My phone was on. That makes me sad. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, good. Okay, that's... Sorry. Alright. Yeah, I injured my head. I don't know. I must have scratched it or something in my sleep, but it hurts, man. So, we'll wait for a minute. I doubt Anna's going to be on. I'll explain why. The reason why I'm not going to have her as a moderator anymore is because I have to, it's like I said the other day, I have to have people with standards. Hey, Denise. And she has none. People without standards can't work with me. If you don't have standards about things, you can't work with me. So, I hope everybody had a good day. I hope everybody had a safe day too. But I had, you know, it's so nasty outside. Like it's so humid outside. It's awful. It's awful. It's awful, Denise. Anyway, but and more than that, let's see here. I'll get into it in a minute. I want to give the state, as the president would do. I want to give the State of the Union so everybody knows what's really going on. If you don't understand what's going on, I'm going to tell you what's going on. I mean, it's awful. It is awful. It really is. Let's see here. Yeah, I've lost. Good Jesus, I have lost. Let me figure that out for you folks, real quick. Then I'll get on. Actually, I'll do what I've been doing, and I'll go have a cigarette real quick, and I'll come back and you guys listen to music real quick. Hold on, let me add this massive number up real quick. It's awful. It's an awful number. There we go. Let's see here. So everybody get a drink and things. If you need to go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do, go do that. I will be back in a second. That's awful. Wait till you see this number. Okay. I'll be back in 1 second. Let me turn off my mic, and I'm gonna go have a smoke. I'll be back. What's up? What's up? All right, I'll be back. Listen to music for a second. All right, people. Let me put on my glasses. We'll get started here. Okay. Oops. Damn thing. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of N.A.G.214 Gaming. What we do here is listen to talk. Continuing on, kind of what I've been discussing about how to, what you need to be different, to change, to get through things, as it were, right? Hey, what's up, Dwan? Oh, I disappeared. Sorry, no, I just had to have a smoke real quick. I was waiting for people to get on. I'm glad I did. Okay. By the way, Dwan, do you see how your name is in the blue? That means you're a moderator now. That means you have the right now. Hey, Dwan, just so you know, I kind of appreciate this. Denise is your boss while you're on here. Denise is the head of the moderation thing. Tiny little. Think about this. How weird is that? Denise is tiny and Dwan's over 6 foot tall. That's a good mix there. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so down to business. Why I decided to discuss this today, and I titled it. I titled it a message for those that need to be prepared. You prepare for the worst, but you hope for the best. Everybody says that flippantly, and and then they say there's some sort of thing where like you're supposed to get some sort of inspiration. Well, let me explain what that actually means. All right. So, again, I'm going to go into my finances. I want to show you my last 2 days. All right. This is going to be fun. So we're going to turn this around. Hold on. Let's turn this around for you guys. Okay. Yeah, he's a bear and a mouse. Okay. All right. So we're going to turn this around. We're going to get to this. I want you guys to see the cliff that I'm about to show you. Okay. This is the last 2 days. All right. Let me get this out of the way for a second. No, we need this down further. All right. Down further than that. There we go. Sheet 1. Okay. I want you to notice the cliff. Look at that cliff. This is what the market did the last 2 days. Look at the cliff. Look at the cliff. It's really a wonderful cliff. I love rides on Six Flags. It's going to make me nauseous. So let me explain to you this in math, what this means. In the last 3 days, since Thursday went down. Since Thursday, but really Friday and Saturday, or Friday and Monday, today, it went down. I am minus $306.48. Okay, this was over $200 I had made. It is now below that number by a significant margin. And more than that, the really telling, I'm going to shut this down. The really telltale sign is that I'm not just in the negative. I'm not just in the negative, guys. I am $145.28 in the negative, which means the $325 that Sophia put in my account, partly from what I put in, or excuse me, technically it was 325, but it's 200 in the Prudential and 100 in the Allstate. So basically, I was minus 10. I made minus 10.51% today in the Prudential. I made minus 3.11% today in the Allstate. And I guarantee you Dwan lost a lot of money today too. If I was going to be willing to check, I have his stats too. Yeah. The economy's really bad and it crashed the last 2 days. There's talking about recession. And Donald Trump said the other day that if Kamala Harris is elected, you might be looking at a 1929 crash. Let me explain to you 1929. None of us were alive. Not a single person here that's going to watch this was alive in 1929. People killed themselves. They killed themselves. They jumped off of buildings because they lost everything. Okay? I want you to wrap your mind around that. Now, you can say how pathetic these people are and, well, God, they can't handle stuff. They lost everything. Imagine, I can't imagine how awful I would feel if you took my computer away and you took all my stuff away and forced me to be homeless. Is that even English? What the hell? What the hell? Neither one of you two are speaking English. You're speaking, I don't know what the hell you're speaking. Anyway, I know what you said, only because I understand a retardness. Anyway, but check this out. No, Denise. This isn't a normal up and down thing. I can show you. No. It's went down below this number before. I'm letting you know something that you do not know. I've been listening all day long and for 3 days, and I listen to the economics because I have to. Okay? Now, in 1929, what caused it? There were many things that caused it. In this case, it's very, 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 very similar. Now, it was one of the... Oh, God damn. Don't ask me to remember the president. I didn't even think to look this up. The president... It was two presidents before Woodrow Wilson, I guess. During what the United States is called the Roaring Twenties. I'm going to type this in so you guys know. And this period came first, okay? And it was a period of really, really awesome prosperity. Well, I don't know why that just showed up. It came from a really awesome period of prosperity. Okay? All right? And we had, there was inventions. The Model T had come out, and the invention of this assembly line, and so everybody was able to own a car, and the taxes were one of the lowest they have ever been in the history of the United States during that time. Okay? One of the lowest. All right? Now pay attention. Because this exact thing is happening now. Exact. I can't even believe the similarities. It's so disgusting. So that period of time happened, and there was a lot of prosperity. Families started being able to, yes. And he was also, I think he was assassinated in office. The guy I'm talking about was assassinated in office, I think. Well, anyway, then you get a less conservative guy in, okay, and they started pressing for more taxes, raising taxes. So just in case you guys don't think raising taxes is a big deal and the argument about taxes or no taxes is a big deal, here you go. And why the Founding Fathers did not believe in raising taxes. Prosperity doesn't come from taxes. It comes from the freedom that you can work and you don't have to struggle for the things that you should have to eat and sleep and stuff like that. Okay? From low taxes, not high. And in your head, you think, well, what? That doesn't make sense. Well, if you charge more taxes, then you get more money. If you charge more taxes, people can't afford things, and the economy starts to go down. And eventually, during that time, the stock market went boom, crashed. Entire families lost everything they ever had. And also at the same time, in the 1920s, right, not long before the Great Depression, we had a natural disaster happen. Natural disaster happened. We had the Great Dust Bowl in Texas. In Texas, in Oklahoma, in Kansas, and all the way up into Minnesota. It ruined crops. Entire crops, yields, crops, vegetables were ruined. There are stories that were passed down to like my grandmother and my grandfather, where I want you, anybody who lives in Texas, I want you to imagine this. Imagine sleeping in your bed in the middle of West Texas during the Dust Bowl and having sand and dirt blow through the cracks of your doors and your housing, of the wall. And so it's basically you're sleeping on dirt. People had to cover their nose and wear masks so they wouldn't inhale it. Farms were lost and people had to start getting jobs. But it was too late. They had raised taxes. And then they really raised it with Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was a dark, evil man. Racist to the hilt. He's the one that created the Jim Crow laws. Democrat. Let's go into the future. Same exact situation. Donald Trump had taxes the lowest it had been in a very long time. And we started to prosper. The market was going up dramatically. And then Biden took over and hiked up taxes so high, created fake money. If you don't understand how inflation works, let me explain it to you. Okay. It's a telephone, right? This phone is $1,000. So what if I were to give you two of these phones for $1,000? I just decreased the worth of this phone by half. What if I were going to give you three phones like this? Then I just divided it by 3. 4 phones by 4. That's how inflation works. So that when you go sell this phone again, it's only worth a quarter of the price, because guess what? I gave you 4 of them. Gave you them. Money is based upon gold. Okay? Inflation, and by the way, I was explaining this to Denise earlier, and Denise, now you understand why I was discussing this with you, because I needed to go through it in my head. I hope you do. We didn't invent inflation. Inflation has been around for a long, long time, and I'll get to that in a minute. So inflation is like this. I give you a dollar bill, okay? That $1 is worth $1 worth of gold, right? And that's the way it's supposed to work. I'm supposed to have $1 worth of gold somewhere, and this piece of paper is an IOU. People don't think of money like that. The paper money is IOU money. because I can print 1,000,000,000 times more than that, print it, and now I just decrease the value of your dollar. That's inflation. Okay? And what it does it makes housing prices go up. It makes me have to charge you more for my services or my products because the dollar isn't worth anything. So for me to get the value of my stuff, I have to charge you more because the dollar's not worth as much. Got it? So when Biden took over, what's the first thing he did? Now, I'm not going to tell you Trump didn't do it either. Trump did it at the very end, but who forced it? But Trump did do it. He did the first one. They had no choice. People were suffering when COVID came at the end of the Trump's presidency. But he did it first. It is true. Trump did it first. Trust me, it wasn't his own will. He didn't want to wear a mask. But they forced him, and they passed the first relief bill thing for the COVID. Then they did a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one. And everybody was so fucking happy with this free money from the government. Because they were hurting. I would ask the American people now, and I'll look you in the face and say, are you happy now? So for a little self-gratification, for a little relief, you damn near crushed this country. That is the very definition of selfish. And then that awful, and then when they tried to, when they tried to kind of fit, like, then they kind of, the ship righted itself, sort of. And then him and Kamala Harris, they were the last. Kamala Harris was the deciding vote, and since Denise doesn't understand American politics necessarily, the way it works is if there's a tie vote in the Senate and the Congress, if something is trying to pass through and there's a tie, the Vice President of the United States has this deciding vote. So Kamala Harris had the deciding vote on a bill. It was an American Heritage Act. And then you saw inflation go. They printed so much effing money. They did during the Obama administration too. Trump fixed it. So how about you stop worrying about the man's Twitter fingers and save our country? Just saying. You're gonna all regret it if you don't. And some of these people don't even know how to work for anything. They've only ever known homes and having a house. They've gone from their house where they lived in when they was a kid, and they went to college, and they've never even known suffering. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen if there is a 1929 type crash. You will experience a type of pain you have never experienced. You better damn well listen to me when I tell you that, because I don't like to repeat myself, especially on things like this. This isn't a joke. This ain't a fucking game. You don't like Donald Trump? Deal with him for 4 years and fix this country. I may lose everything because of this. And if this gets too bad, I'm gonna have to take my money out. There are consequences to your actions, but this wasn't going to be about Donald Trump. This wasn't going to be about politics. This is going to be about preparing yourself in case it does happen. Do I think Donald Trump is going to get elected? Yes, I do. Especially with this stuff going on right now that they can't run from. People are pissed off. Every time Sophia goes to the store, she's like, I can't believe how high groceries are. Everybody's been complaining about that. Instead of complaining, prepare. So here's how I'm preparing. Dwan Jackson and I are going to be living together. And Dwan doesn't know this at all. And he's about to find out news. Happy news, by the way. Sophia is right now, as we speak, looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. Dwan will sign, and Sophia will sign. Now Sophia's leaving, so I'll be living there. And that's a living situation. That way me and Dwan aren't separate. You think Dwan can get out if he needs to? No, he can't. But he will always have me beside him to help protect him. But in the meantime, I'm going to teach him how to save money. I'm going to show him how to do this damn thing so that we both have a safety net. That's how me and Dwan are going to prepare for this. And at the same time as we're going to keep studying, we're going to keep learning, we're going to keep talking to you guys. And most importantly, we are going to continue to speak about these things so that you guys have hope, that you know that you're not alone. So we can give you some ambition, so that you guys have someone to vent to about these things, so that we may have some advice to give you to get through it, so that you can take that advice and go outside somewhere and think about it, make a decision, and just know that you're not alone. And at the same time, you can clean your house of all of the things that have cobwebs on it. Get to know yourself. Fill your house with good things. In this case, fill your house with hope. You can survive it, but there's a way you have to be able to do it. You have to prepare for that. Your life may not be quite as good anymore. That's something you have to wrap your mind around. And until you do, you ain't got no chance. You ain't got no chance. You ain't got no chance. It's the country people that are going to survive this. City people are going to scream and moan and yell, and those are the people that I'm afraid for. And you got to get good at the things inside your box, because you may be able to, as we work in and we build up this team of ours, this family of ours, everyone's got a talent. We all get good at that talent, and we work together to be one. One, not individuals. We are individual people that work as one. It's not a socialist concept. It's not the people. It's everybody's working together for the same goal, to push the thing forward. And learn new things. When I'm talking about tactics, when I'm talking about military tactics, and how to give proper arguments, Dwan Jackson is on here right now, and he'll tell you, you're not going to beat me in an argument. You're just not. Not because I'm smarter than you, but because I've educated myself on tactics, and I've been teaching Dwan. And now that he's going to be closer to me, literally living with me, we're going to be living next to each other, we will have great influence on one another. That's my most important goal about this situation. I need to get that man out of the situation so we can start. I don't want him in South Dallas doing this. I don't want him in South Dallas doing this. And it's not going to happen like that. Me and him, we're going to be in this apartment before Sophia leaves. We have to be. That's our plan. Now, how can you adopt that plan? Maybe that plan's not good for you. Okay, clearly you're not going to live with me and Dawn. But the point is, prepare your mind. Figure out a way to not just get through it, but to thrive in it. Pain's coming. It is going to be awful. And there are going to be people that have zero chance of surviving this without help. Do you understand, Duan? I'm starting to think about everything I've ever gone through. Everything I've been thinking like this in the last few days. As much as I want this business to survive, I'm starting to wonder if my plans are secondary. I'm starting to wonder if, since God knows the future, I'm starting to wonder if I was to change my life for this reason, not for a business, that to help people that are going through things like this, not just for mental illness. Now, I never was just aiming towards mental illness, but I'm starting to wonder if all of this training I've been doing for myself and all this stuff I've been doing for my friends and trying to get my friends in line, I'm starting to wonder if this was the plan all along. I really am. I really just, it's too weird. I don't believe in coincidences. I'm not talking about just surviving. There's plenty of people you can talk to about surviving. I haven't been in the country in a long time. I'm not talking about necessarily surviving. Lori can tell you how to survive physically. Lori has it right, by the way. People like Lori can help me too. Lori's not gonna let me die here. You serious? Duan, do you think Lori's gonna let you die here? If we have to get out, me and Lori's already talked about it. We have a plan. See, thing about Duan is, he knows that I'm not dumb. And the reason why he trusts me is because so far I've been right on everything. Because I have a plan and a future. Because this is just who I am now. I'm not indecisive in my thoughts. And I want you guys to be just as sure in yours. So Duan being around me is going to be a great influence to him. And just in case you guys are wondering, Duan is the greatest influence on me. He doesn't know this. Duan is one of the greatest inspirations to me. Lori has an escape plan. So I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about your mental fortitude. What is your standard? Second day in a row I've talked about it. You must stand for something or you will fall for everything. What is your standard? What are people drawn to? One of the reasons why people are drawn to me is because, one, I know when they see my passion, it's a draw, it's a light, it's a beacon. But then when they get to me, what am I saying out of my mouth? I'm giving them advice. I'm giving them hope. I'm doing these things, trying to show them the way. They realize that they didn't see a ghost. They saw it correctly. But only until they talk to me. And you guys got to be the same way. We've got to be one. A war isn't... Sorry, Duan. But I mean it. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Dwan, I told you I would never leave you. I meant it. I will never leave you again. I had to fix my life, Dwan. And I've done that. So now it's time to work as a team and get everybody together. We get Lori, we get Denise. Denise is going to be here in a couple years. What kind of country is she arriving to, Dwan? What kind of country is Denise arriving to, Dwan? Let's fucking prepare it then. Let's fucking prepare it then. I talk about Texas all the time, and I brag to Denise about Texas all the time. What kind of Texas are we presenting to her? What ain't gonna be a bad one. Not so long as I have breath. And so, I present to you again hope that your mental fortitude must be strong. You have to bend. You can't be completely rigid or you get crushed. But don't break. Let them hit you. So what? It's not going to stop me. I have worked too hard to lose it all and give it up. Will I lose this business? No, because Dwan and I have talked about this. You can't lose something that's... Ideas cannot be destroyed. It's the one thing that's so dangerous to dictators. Ideas, not people. That's why people are willing to die martyrs. That's why dictators don't want to make a person a martyr. Because a dead martyr, a dead person that has brought hope to somebody is worth more than an alive person that is richer than fuck. So, if me and Dwan end up homeless again, because the government decides to do all of these different things, first, me and Dwan can literally tell you it's not our fault. And number two, unlike some of you guys, we've been homeless before. We don't want to be homeless, and we'll fight for it. But we're also not going to shut our mouths either. And there are people with mental illnesses right now that are suffering. They're going crazy because of all this stuff. Trust me. It's an awful thing. It's the awful situation to be in. But we're in it. It's too late. We're right on the precipice of a recession. It's going to be getting harder and harder. In other words, this is only the beginning of it. And who knows? Hopefully, this recession will not last long. Hopefully, that everything will bounce back and there'll be nothing to worry about eventually. Do you know what I know? It doesn't matter. Being prepared at all times for the things that may come at you is probably the wisest advice I could ever give you. Asking yourself what if questions. What if Kamala wins? What if I lose this business? What if I end up homeless? Those sorts of things. When you ask yourself those questions and you're able to honestly answer them, then you can come up with a plan just in case. Just in case plans are plans that they're not detailed necessarily, but they have just in case plans are like, if it actually happens, if something similar happens, it might be a little different, but you know somewhat what to do. And maybe you adjust on the fly. Critical thinking. Everything that I'm teaching you guys, every single thing that Dwan's trying to teach you has a purpose It's not just something I would like you to know. It's something that's going to cause you to survive. It's going to help your mind get through the things that may happen. I can tell you this. You know, I get asked a lot about homelessness. How did you get through it, Daryl? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't effing know. Sometimes I just did. Just did. And I don't know. Sometimes I just put one foot in front of the other. There was no plan. But I know now my life cannot be like that. I cannot live my life where there's no plan. You can't live your life like that. You may get through it somewhat, but you can't live. You're only ever going to just get through it. You have to figure out a way out of a negative situation. And if you need to go forward, like towards a certain direction, Lori, I just saw that. I like that. Well, hey, Lori, we got to bring a doctor with us. No, but preparedness is important. Anyway, why do people force water down people's throats? Water's gross. It really is, truly. Iced tea, something with taste in it. Okay? I hate that shit. Daryl, you smoke too much. Daryl, you drink too much. Daryl, you do this too much. Daryl, you fart too much. Daryl, you eat too much. Daryl, you do this too much. Is there anything I don't do too much? Can I have one vice? One? I smoke cigarettes and I drink Dr. Pepper. I think I'm doing okay. Thanks. Thanks for the advice for the 1,000th time that I've told you not to do, especially on live. Anyway, it's so irritating. God, it's like, stop it. Me and Lori will be bringing Dr. Pepper with us. I assure you that. You think she's joking, but we're not. I have no intention of bringing water. No intention. You bring water. Drink water. Be a gerbil. Maybe I'll give you one of those little bottles. Anyway. It's just irritating to have the same thing told over and over again. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm telling a good message. It's just really irritating. So check this out. Preparedness is important. Now I can't do this anymore. I'll give you an example of something. So when me and Sophia lived at the other place, we had a plan to get out of the city, and not be in a city. Being in the city is going to be the worst. I know you don't think it won't, but it won't. The grocery stores are going to become zoos, and once those stores are empty, you're going to see the definition of why humans can become rotten to the core. The nicest people in the world become rotten when they're starving. When a person is starving, tired, and in pain, without good moral standards, they become evil. And they will turn to things like cannibalism. I know that's an extreme. I'm just telling you that's why it happens. Okay? Who do you think the first people that are going to panic are? Is it going to be Lori and her country self? Or is it going to be the educated people that have never, ever, ever, ever had a bug on them? I worry for Denise for that reason. Juwan's getting used to it more. I wish you guys could have seen me 11, 12 years ago. Me and Sophia used to go outside, out in weather like this, in full camo, and shoot at each other. Roll around there with the bugs and the lizards and the snakes. City folk are, in my opinion, a lot of city folk are just weak in my opinion. They have no clue. They think because they went hiking once or twice that they know anything about it. Especially liberal ones that won't kill animals. They'll starve, and then they'll probably try to sell you off into slavery. They don't want to work. And that's how human beings end up going into some of the most evil acts in history. But now we're not talking about the darkest times. But there is not good times coming, no matter how you slice it. The recession is coming. There is a recession coming. No, not paintball guns. They were airsoft guns, and those are real guns. They just don't shoot bullets. My M16 was as real as an M16. It just had the orange nozzle. That's how, in fact, that particular airsoft gun was how the Navy SEALs practice with each other. Paintball guns are good, but they're okay, and you can see your mark. Now, those are real guns. You can kill a squirrel with them, really. In fact, my gun specifically, my baby, then that was my baby, trust me. It looked identical to an M16. If there wasn't an orange nozzle in the end, which they have to by law, you would not have been able to tell the difference. And it was powerful. It would go fired just like an M16. Fired about 1,000 rounds per minute. Yeah. Sophia got hit directly in the face with that thing. Really? Ask her. She trapped me. What? She trapped me. We were practicing ambushing and we were practicing tracking. We used to practice all of that stuff. We can't anymore physically. So physically, I can't do some of that stuff anymore. And I know that's true. That's why having someone like Lori, to help me is awesome. But like Denise doesn't know what to do. Denise has no clue what to do. She's not. I don't think Denise would panic, but she's not going to survive without help. Like really, me and Lori are going to have to help Denise like a motherfucker if something ever bad happens. And Juwan has to be helped anyway because of his ailments. But at least Juwan gets used to it. But he has a heart condition. We have to get these are all things that you have to consider about yourself. If you got health issues, this is gonna be bad for some people, you know. That's right, Juwan. And I can't wait for it because ideas don't come by keeping your mouth shut. They don't. They come from bouncing it back and forth. You tweak things. Me and Sophia used to practice military tactics physically. She'd come try to find me. I'd hide. I'd come try to find her. Amanda did it too. We did it all the time. But she started getting migraines, and you guys see how my legs are. But it doesn't mean I forgot. It doesn't mean I don't know how to create a defensive situation if it ever needs to be. I know it like the back of my hand. And I study especially ancient tactics. I study ancient tactics, and I know exactly how they used to do things. It's just something I love. I love that stuff. I love the Roman military and the way they did their legions. But I'm talking about using tactics, by the way, in regards to arguments. This is what I was trying to explain to them, Dwan. I'm gonna take my little break that I normally take. Dwan, I want you to do me a favor. Okay, I'm gonna shut off my mic. And now that you're on here, I'm gonna shut off my mic. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna have a smoke. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break here for a second. My eyes get tired looking at this. And so, yeah, Lori, have you ever shot a human? This question. That's great for hunting. I'm talking about self-defense, military tactics. But anyway, Dwan, I want you to explain to them, I guess, I want you to explain to them how we used to deal with people when we used to debate people, like me and you, okay? When we used to do it as a team. So you explain to them how I debate people and how I get my information and what information I use to use against the person that I'm debating. Kind of explain to them how I use my tactics. That I use tactics. People are still trying to understand what I mean by tactics. It's not physical tactics necessarily all the time, but I always use tactics in regards to my arguments against people. All right, so you explain to these guys about how I use my stuff, and I will be back on my shelf mic. By the way, thank you, Denise, for that information. I'm so dumb that I didn't understand it. She was talking about hunting. I understand what hunting is. Thank you. And I asked a question. Do you know how to shoot a human? Could you defend yourself against another human or several humans? Because let me tell you what I'm talking about. If it actually comes down to a situation where we have to leave the city, there are going to be humans that don't want us to leave the city. Are you going to kill and eat them? So yes, I understood she was talking about hunting. I have a whole family full of hunters. In Wisconsin, that's what they do, is hunt. On Thanksgiving, when the deer season is, that's all I ever saw was rotting deer in open hides. Okay? It was disgusting, and I'm going to tell you now, if the situation calls for it, I'm going to become a vegetarian. I'm probably not going to eat much meat when I'm out on the road. There's no way in hell there's no way in hell I could hunt an animal, gut it, and then eat it. No way. Unfortunately, my dad wasn't a hunter. He was a preacher. The rest of my family were hunters. So they're used to seeing that nasty shit. I'm not that dude. Not ever going to be that dude, and I don't want to be that dude. So if Lori wants to hunt, good for her. I don't want to see it gutted. I don't want to see it. And I want to learn how to do it. I have no desire to do it. I will quite literally, thank God I know vegetation. I will eat fish and I will eat vegetation. I will not be eating meat. Okay? Anna. You can tell your good news later. Okay? Thanks. All right. Yep, Anna got a job, guys. 400,000 people lost theirs, though. Okay, everybody focus now. All right, thank you. I'm not congratulating. 400,000 people lost their jobs last month. So, I'm kind of concerned about other people right now. All right? Thank you. What I was trying to say about tactics is tactics against yourself. When you're trying to, like, for example, okay, when you're questioning yourself, when you're going through your life and you're trying to change things about yourself, you do have to use tactics. You have to use tactics. You have to use those things. You have to. When Sophia got home, I had a long conversation with her, and I was talking. Some of it was venting, and some of it was just real concerns of mine. And it's about this place I'm going to get. Okay? I do believe in myself. Okay? Don't get it messed up. But I have concerns, let's just say. Good job, Lori. Good answer. If it's a necessary, it's necessary for me to question myself. It's necessary for you to question yourself when you're making big decisions. And this is the first place that both me and Dwan, first of all, me and Dwan have never lived together. He stayed over at my old apartment a long time ago. But I have concerns, and I'm sure Dwan has concerns about himself too. And it's okay to have concerns. Now, I'm not going to let it stop me, no, you know what I'm saying? But I always have concerns about new things when new things happen to me because I have messed up so badly in the past. Okay? All right? Right? And so I voiced those views to Sophia today, and we've talked and we went back and forth, and basically what it is it's not that I don't think I can do it. I can do it. It's that I fully I get tested most of the time. Sophia makes sure of it. But sometimes I feel like I'm off my game, and it's when I'm off my game, like when I'm in hurting or something, that I really make I'm kind of, my mind's cloudy, and I don't want to make decisions when my mind is cloudy, and so I do get concerned about my future, right? And I've always had to question myself like this in the last 18 years. It's part of how you have to change. You have to look and go, there's a possibility that, especially if you've not done it before. And so I have counter tactics, and I've figured out some counter tactics to make sure that certain things don't happen. Okay? Counter things that I can make sure that, for example, what if I get depressed? And no, I can't just call Lori. Lori's at work sometimes. No, I can't just call Dwan. What if Daryl gets depressed? There's gonna be no Sophia no more. I can't just vent to her. Daryl's got to be able to get through it. So, finding like a local coffee shop to go to. Finding some place to go sit. Walk around. Because it's hard for me to walk. I've got to get these legs fixed. All these are counter tactics, and they're tactics. They're not just things you do. It's not the way you think of it. You're using a tactic to counter something bad that's going on inside your head. All right? And that's how you can counter depression. Okay? Really. Just getting out and do things, meeting new people. All right? A lot of doing this does that too, but I can't always work, right? I do have to stop. So I kind of use the same kind of tactics when it comes to my sleeplessness. When I'm up all night and I can't sleep, what do? I work. Okay? So that's part of it. When dealing with outside people, though, you have to first know a few things. Depends on what you're talking about. You need to know their perspective. You need to figure out how much they know about the subject you're talking about. You need to figure out how why they believe the way they do. That sort of thing. There's a reason why people believe the way they do. Maybe it's just a simple matter of that maybe their mommy and daddy were a certain religion, and now they're that religion. Or maybe, in the case of my friend Dan, his parents were atheists, and yet he was baptized. He wanted to be as far away from his mother and father as possible. He couldn't stand them. Right? You understand? So that's the thing. You do this stuff. Okay? You do this stuff because you're literally doing what Bruce Lee talked about. When you go against yourself, that's how, in your mind, you have to fight yourself. You have to learn how to block your own punches in your mind. And if you can beat yourself, you will win. You're master. Okay? Because you should know your own mind, right? If you can actually counter a punch with a punch, and you can come around and you can actually land a punch on yourself in your head, and you go through all of the moves in your head. I do that daily with arguments. I think about, what if this person counters with this? What if this person counters with this? And I mean, I really do. I'm not even playing with you. I do this a lot. Sometimes I actually talk out loud, but most of the time when I sit out there, I will go over and over and in my head different sorts of things that I'm thinking about, and the counters to everything that could be attacked towards me. That's the reason why it looks like when someone attacks me that it doesn't bother me, because I've already attacked myself. I've already heard the argument. It's the greatest way to train your mind that you will ever know, and it's a practice thing. You go through your head and counter yourself so that you know the defense to have, because you know yourself, right? Knowledge of the things that are going on in the world are vital. If you're ignoring what's going on today, okay? If you're ignoring what's going on today, and you're so self-centered that you think everything's about you, it ain't. A lot of people have lost their jobs this month. I showed you guys at the beginning of this live the giant crash in my income. I lost over $300 in the last 2 days. Over $300 in the last 2 days. My SSI check is $735. I lost almost the equivalent of half of my paycheck in the last 2 days. So tell me something. I could be self-centered and I could get on here and talk about me all the time and talk about woe is me. No, I sit here and I try to help you guys. That's how I would prefer to spend my time, because I know me. I don't have to brag about things that I do, because you guys see the things I do. They're on video. If I die tomorrow, my videos will last for eternity, so long as no one erases my videos. And I'm pretty damn certain Dwan's not going to erase my videos. Denise, are you going to erase my videos? Sophia, Artie, because we're going to have to get a lawyer. Facebook, she's going to turn that into a legacies place so that they can never take my Facebook, my stuff down. My message, my videos will last for eternity. Your jobs and money will last for as long as you live. Long after I die, my message will be out there. In other words, I've already been, this right here, in my lifetime, I may not see the success I would like to have, but neither did Beethoven. Neither did Mozart. Am I Mozart or Beethoven? No, I'm not creating a symphony. But am I doing this so that long after I die, it can be talked about? Yeah. That was me and Dwan's plan the whole time. We're not trying to get rich. We want to make money doing this, but if we don't, we don't. Our number one goal is to help people. And that's what makes us a success. Not the money, not the amount of money, or not the house, not the car. It's the fact that long after I die, my message will live for eternity, so long as God allows the world to exist. And it's the greatest thing I can tell anyone, any of my enemies, that you will die eventually. You'll be too old to work your job. You'll be too old to drive your Mercedes-Benz. But my message will last for eternity. And that's the best. Instead of fighting people, instead of getting mad at people, instead of fighting my family, there'll be long dust, and my message will still be right there, vibrant for everybody to listen to. It's the greatest revenge you'll ever have in your life against anybody who tries to attack you. They can't attack your message. They can't attack you. They can attack you. They can kill you, but they can't attack your message. An idea and a thought can never be destroyed. And so long as the message is continued to be spoken, whatever message you're trying to send, that message can never be destroyed. And I just told you that my videos will last forever. Forever. Because I will never take them down. That's why I haven't touched my beginning videos. Hey, Dwan, did you ever even think about that? See, we already have victory. Victory has already been handed to us, no matter how successful this company is. Dwan works for Tom Thumb. Dwan gets a check from Tom Thumb, not from Warpole J Gaming. Not yet. But Dwan's more proud of doing this right here without money. Now, we do have to have an income. That's why I have to be on SA until I can figure that out. He has to work at Tom Thumb until he figures it out, because he does have to have money. But his job is not Tom Thumb. My job is not sitting here being on SSI. I'm Daryl Phillips. I'm the owner of New Apologetic Gaming. And Dwan Jackson is the owner of New Apologetic Gaming. That's what we do. That's why we teach like this. Honor and respect. And be an understanding of other people. You know, when you hear that almost 400,000 people lost their jobs, that companies are cutting back because of the economy, they're having to let people go. Don't get too comfortable in your jobs. That includes you, Lori. Don't get too comfortable in your jobs, because they're gonna cut off the fat first. And that's why raising taxes is so evil. Because what it does is, because smart business owners, even though they want to try to raise taxes and raise the amount of wages and things like that, people want their damn money. I, as a business owner, don't have to hire you. Period. So what happens is, so that philosophy that, well, I'm growing the economy because I'm raising taxes and I'm raising the minimum wage, doesn't work. What it does do is force me to go, well, you know what? This Mexican over here will work for $5 an hour, and Lori and Anna will only work for $20. Bye-bye, Lori and Anna. Because I'm smart. I'm a business owner. I have to make money. And that's finances 101. You can't hate the game. Hate the players, man. It's the thing of all of the families that are suffering, families that have children in them. Okay? You know, Dwan and I aren't rich. We don't do this because we are. We don't do this because we're rich and we have some sort of college education that we want to share with you guys. We do this because we've been talking about this for 25 years when we were actually homeless. When we were actually homeless, we were talking about helping people. Think on that, really. We weren't talking about getting off the streets. We were talking about helping other people like us. There are some things that are priorities to this business that's what I mean by scary standard. The standard of both me and Dwan's life and New Apologetic Gaming are this. You have respect for other people, okay? That means, and by definition, learn how to read a room, okay? Watch your surroundings, learn from your surroundings, and go forward with that first. So today, for example, when I see that I lose over $300, okay, and that the economy is so effing awful that 400,000 people lose their jobs, and it's causing what is most likely going to be a recession. I don't care about your job. Okay? I don't. I care about other people's jobs. I care about the people that have families and children's jobs. That's what me and Dwan care about. We don't care about anything else. Sorry. When you make financial decisions and you make a mistake in your financial decisions, it's not really anyone else's problem. It's not the government's problem that people make financial decisions. It's yours. A lot of people are having to downgrade from houses to apartments. See, There's other people that are willing to make the sacrifice with their children, and they're willing to go from a home to an apartment because they're smart and they have to take care of their kids. And then there's some people that refuse to leave. Okay? Those are the people that will suffer. Those are the people that will suffer. And that's the people who need to learn and understand. It's just like the governor of Alabama was just talking about this hurricane coming in, or whatever, or governor of Florida, I think, was talking about the hurricane coming in, talking about how people that think that they have been through a hurricane need to really listen and stop acting like they know everything. Pay attention, because you don't. I don't care what your education level. Pay attention to the now. Take heed where you stand, lest ye fall. So where your feet are, watch your feet where you stand. I don't care about your future or your past. Take heed where you stand, lest ye fall. I do that every single day. I don't go forward unless I know my feet are correct. Dwan doesn't go forward unless he knows his feet are correct. Because you know what happens? If you're looking too far in the distance, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. And then you fall. So you're looking so far in the distance at your future, and you didn't see that you almost tripped over a rock. And if you're looking behind you, you're going to run into something. You got to remember the crosshairs. Level thoughts, balanced life, forward. Always forward. Always be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. Because this isn't over. The food prices are not going to go down anytime soon. And mortgage is going to go upwards, skywards, upwards. So whatever you think that's the reason why me and Lori already had talked about it. We're probably never going to have a house because of this stuff. But some people think they're owed a house. Me and Lori is owed a house. She's 61 years old. She's worked her ass off all of her life, but she has made the wise decision that she cannot own a house because it's too expensive. I have made the wise decision I will never own a house because it's too expensive. Until I make the money that I can make and actually cover it. Cover it. Not just barely make it. And since I own my own business, I have a benefit. Me and Dwan both have a benefit. So does Denise, because she's going to be running this too. That will never be fired. I'll never be fired because, hey, Dwan, are you going to fire me? It's not nice. Oh. Preparedness. Being prepared for the future. Being prepared for the now. Watch your surroundings. It isn't just a philosophy of when you walk down the street. I don't like politics. But this is affecting my business. Dwan's got a Roth IRA. He's lost money, I guarantee it. There are some people that are so self-centered and selfish and center-minded that then they're gonna get surprised. I know so many people like this, that my family's like this. They think they don't want to pay attention either. They don't want to pay attention to politics. And they're not ready. They don't have Roth IRAs. Nothing's saved. And they think because they have a house, it can't be taken. Yes, it can. It can be taken from you. That's why the wisest decision for me and Dwan, I would love to get a house. The wisest decision for me and Dwan is to get a 2-bedroom apartment, a nice one. We'll stay there for a while. Stack our cash. And work our business and help people. And eventually, sure. Maybe we'll go get a plot of land and he can have his own house. I can have my own house. But the kind of people that have to be around this situation have to have a standard. I will not be around a person without a standard. If you blow in the wind, you need help. End of story. If you don't have a standard, you don't have to have my opinion or Dwan's opinion or Lori's opinion, but you do have to have a standard. A standard. Something for people to come to as a beacon of hope. If you're not that, what are you? Because people are going to need it. And in the Christian world, we're commanded by God to be a light to the world. So we're commanded to be a standard to the world. And if you're not being a standard to the world, okay, you're not anything. And I'm still trying to come back like I said, I don't want to get too deep into Christianity on this, but I'm still trying to convince myself to go back to church. But once I start going, that's it. In the story. And the people that are atheistic and enemies of God, and those people, y'all better hope I do not ever go back to church. That's one. He's the only one here that can verify this. That's right. That's right. Poor choices. Poor choices. And Lori has learned her lesson, but she had to make the poor choices first. Some people make poor choices and continue to make. Yep, I know, Lori. But hey, Dwan, tell these people that the enemies of God, those Lord liberals, people like that, they better hope to God that I then never go to a single church service. Just saying. You better hope to God I never come back to God. You better hope that I never, ever, ever fully become a Christian again. Because I wasn't ready to be a Christian all those years ago. Even though I knew a lot of stuff. I wasn't ready to be I was too dumb, immature, and sickly in the head. But with my personality now and the way I am now, I'm going to teach Christians some things about the world, and I'm going to try to get Christians on my side, and I'm going to try to get Christians where. That's right. Because I become something else. I become something else. Because we're at war, they're attacking my God, and you don't do that. But as far as this situation is going on in the United States, what I want to keep talking about and keep educating you guys on is what's going on. Because I know not all of you have the time to look at the news. But it's so important. It's so important what's going on. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Alright. Behave yourself. Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. Be understanding of one another. Not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Be understanding of yourself. That you have limits. That you can't do everything. Sometimes you have to let people go. Sometimes it happens like that. It's not good when it happens like that. It sucks when it happens like that. But sometimes, if you have a standard, it's up to them to follow your standard, not the vice versa. Especially when the person doesn't have a standard. Look at Kamala. Kamala has no standard. She has no standard. I will never follow somebody like that. So think about that. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. You're just not. So take now to go outside your box Do something different. Learn about yourself. You never know what you might find. And until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye. Goodbye. Why is it so behind like that? Why is this so behind? It's like it's not on here though. Am I still on, guys? Am I still on, guys? Am I still on? Because it's running at a different pace on my internet than it is on there. But please somebody tell me if I'm still on. Like if what the hell, dude? This is so behind. Yeah, I think I'm still on. Y'all. Okay, I'll cut it off.